Hey, this is Notser, and I want to talk about the status of aircraft carriers because whenever I read stuff about premiums coming out, the Enterprise, Kaga, got the Graf Zeppelin, people always inherently make this comment. Aircraft carriers aren't done yet. Why are they releasing another premium? I thought Wargaming said that they wouldn't release premium aircraft carriers until they've addressed the balance of the line or the class. And that is true. That is what Wargaming said. However, I know a couple of Wargaming employees, and they tell me that as far as Wargaming is concerned, they have addressed the core issues, at least initially, of aircraft carriers. They want time to reassess. Now, maybe they don't want to say this out loud because they want plausible deniability. Oh, well, we never said that aircraft carriers were done. We were just, doing whatever. We were busy. But truthfully, they feel like aircraft carriers are in a state that they can create premium ships for them and release them. So that means that they're done with the first pass of balance. Like anything else, Japanese destroyers are a great example. They have probably rearranged their balance 3 or 4 times. And they're going to do it again. And maybe they need to do it again and again and again to make them viable. But for the aircraft carrier, the interface adjustments, tiers 4 and 5, even the AP bomb to some extent, that's what they wanted to be the first stage, or the stage that they felt confident that they would need months of player feedback and just to see where the meta develops before they try another change to the aircraft carrier lines. And, that's kind of disappointing for me. I feel like there are core issues, real core issues that need to be addressed. The fact that if I am a low-tier aircraft carrier in a high-tier match, I'm basically worthless. I really am. I don't get enough information or XP from just spotting. So I have to get attack runs done. If the enemy team is smart and most of my enemies happen to be high tier, maybe the low tiers are the destroyers. That doesn't help me at all. Destroyers already suck against aircraft carriers. That's just the nature of the game. But I don't think aircraft carriers should be balanced around the tiers as they are right now. It just feels so awkward playing them, and I think everyone agrees. I think everyone sees it. This is just something that they've had in tanks, airplanes, and now warships, where tier matters. It doesn't really matter when you look at other classes in World of Warships. A destroyer that's tier 8 can be as effective as a tier 10. Now, it might not be as powerful, but it can be stealthy the entire time. It can get torpedo strikes on the enemy. It can take people out. It doesn't really matter the tier it's going after. It still has the same vulnerabilities that exist. Not so with a aircraft carrier. An aircraft carrier feels like playing tanks and having premium ammo and being a tier 8 tank trying to shoot that tier 10. It's just not going to be fun for you. You're not going to have a fun time with them. So I don't feel that aircraft carriers are in a state where they're done. But I also wouldn't make the same choices in design as they do on the whole that Wargaming does. So yeah, we've got premiums coming. We've got the Graf Zeppelin. We have the Enterprise, which is going to, obviously it introduced the AP bombs, and we hopefully will be getting that to the late tier American aircraft carriers to give them a chance to win. It's so blatant that a Japanese aircraft carrier has a huge advantage at tiers 8, 9, and 10. It's not even close. It's not even close. So the AP bombs are needed. Are they the right solution for it? I don't know. They seem like they're not globally good enough to counter a class as they're supposed to. They're really good against German battleships. And people will be like, well, that's not really fair because Germans take a lot of damage just in general, because they have a ton of superstructure. And I'll have games in my Missouri where it's like, oh man, I wish I could get a Citadel. I don't really need a Citadel on a German battleship. 15,000, 10,000 is pretty good. I don't know that going for the Citadel every single time would net me as much damage. So for them to feel like German battleships need this to rebalance them, I don't believe that's true. I think more importantly, battleships need something to discourage passive, long-range, isolated gameplay, and that's exactly what an aircraft carrier could do. But it's not universally good in every battleship long-range scenario. Some battleships are just immune to the way the AP bombs are designed, and that's not what we need. I would prefer it to be a little bit more gamey and to be a little bit more universally good against a certain class in order to discourage that playstyle. But we're not there yet. Maybe we will get there through the Enterprise being out. But yeah, the Kaga being out, Enterprise, we've got the Saipan and the Graf Zeppelin, the premiums. There's players who actually play aircraft carriers. They deserve a chance at a premium. Premiums offer you a chance to level up a commander. Obviously in this game it's not like World of Tanks where you need a very specific class in order to have your commander work in it. You could theoretically level a commander in a destroyer, a cruiser, a battleship. But it's not the same, right? It's just not the same. So the premiums are here because Wargaming is done with the first pass of balance. That is what multiple Wargaming employees have communicated to me. Whether they'll say that openly, you know, I don't know. But I'm so sick and tired of reading, oh, well, Wargaming said that they wouldn't release premiums until they were done. That means they're done. Without them communicating, that means they're done. A great example of me inferring based on past experiences with Wargaming, nothing that a community contributor or a super toaster would have extra access to, is the release schedule of premium ships. How do you know that the Gallant is going to come out sometime around the Dunkirk movie coming out? Well, they're really into the Dunkirk movie. Obviously, they've signed a deal, and it makes sense. But also, the Enterprise was released, and they haven't had anything come out recently. So I expect the High School Fleet to come out, but then in late July, we have Dunkirk, which is about 2 or 3 weeks. That's about how their release schedule works. They like to have a premium come out every 2 to 3 weeks in the year. Now, it could be a rescan. We've got a couple reskins, you know, the Nürnberg into the Soviet cruiser, I can't think of the name, or we've got High School Fleet, Graf Spee. These are basically using assets that existed before, just doing a new camo for it, and that's not as much work as a brand new ship. New model, everything, right? But it's still a premium coming out, and that's what Wargaming has consistently maintained, this schedule. So if you're ever wondering, you know, are they due for a premium? Yes! Yes! They want to release about 25 premiums, give or take, per year. Well, there's 52 weeks each year. So that means they're releasing every 2 weeks. Now, they're not going to do it quite like that. There might be double premiums released, you know, for some event, High School Fleet, for example. But in general, they have a pretty set schedule. And that would tell me that they have a set design for the aircraft carrier. These were planned well in advance. They did the adjustments. They've waited as long as they possibly could, let's be honest. The Enterprise was a ship they could easily make a ton of money off, especially as an American. It's as recognizable as the Warspite is for the Brits. That's just money waiting. They have aircraft carriers in the game. Do they need adjustments? Yes. But it's just not reasonable to expect that a company is going to wait until it is perfectly balanced. Nobody's like that. I've played World of Warcraft since the beginning. If Blizzard waited until each class was functionally 100% effectiveness, the game would never move forward. There have been so many instances where classes have been completely and utterly irrelevant for an entire expansion, let alone a patch. But it's important they're working on it, and they are working on the game. They're trying to address issues with the player base. They're redoing Japanese balance, Is it the right thing? I don't really know. It certainly feels like it's an all or nothing. I do enjoy my Japanese, and I think I will be doing the Japanese destroyer line for my down the line. Partly because, let's face it, it's relevant for ranked play right now. I think the Japanese destroyers are the most universally successful. Not saying that you can't have success in the Farragut, not saying that you can't have success in anything else, but in general, I think that a Japanese destroyer is going to have more success on average in the current meta that exists for ranked play, at least for North America. If I went to another one, you know, if it was 4 or 5 destroyers every battle, well, we'd have to reassess, but it's just not that way right now. So yeah, aircraft carriers, as far as Wargaming is concerned, the first pass of balance is complete. They feel confident in releasing premiums, and they will reassess it in the future, just like every other class. As far as I'm concerned, I will be streaming later today, down the line, Japanese destroyers. I look forward to it. I hope you do as well. I'm sorry that I've been sick, PC issues, internet issues. I do enjoy down the line. I do recognize that people aren't used to my channel making videos as I've had to step away, but I'm going to try and get back into content coming out at a pretty even clip every other day or every day, whenever it's necessary. And I think it was necessary to state multiple Wargaming employees have told me they are confident and they are complete with their first pass until they reassess the aircraft carrier situation. And I can't say that that's good or bad. All I could say is that's what they've told me. I personally would like aircraft carriers to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more action-oriented, and not as much as you're watching from above, but I am not the owner of this game. I merely report on it. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you're interested in joining me, join me at twitch.tv/notser later today. I will check you all again with my my PC. My PC's coming, and I can't wait. My upgrades. It's not a full PC. I can't wait to install it and have even faster, better encoding for both the stream and YouTube. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.